here's what we got this morning. We're going to go 60 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and we're going to do 4 rounds of 5 exercises. So with the rest time, the total will be about 25 minutes or around 25 minutes. First exercise, two-way lunge. By the way, you guys can roll out while I'm talking here so we get moving. Two-way lunge, you're going to hold the weight, your choice. You can hold it up top, like in a goblet hold, or you can hold it on the side that's not stepping, right? You'll hold it on the side that stays stuck to the ground. Two-way lunge is just stepping forward into a forward lunge, lateral into a lateral lunge. So forward, sideways, we'll do this for that leg for 60 seconds. And then we switch it up, for 30 seconds, and then switch to the other leg for the remaining 30 seconds. And then we'll rest for 20. Side plank, we're going to do 30-second side plank on one side. At the 30-second mark, we'll roll over, do the other side. Next one's a floor press. So you're lying on your back on the floor, just doing kind of like a bench press, but from the floor, just pressing up. As you do that, let your palm rotate. So at the bottom, your palm is going to be facing your midline. As you press up, your palm will face forward down towards your toes. So that's floor press. I'll call the halfway point there. Next one, SLDL. Just holding in one hand, whatever hand you're holding the weight in, that leg is going to go back. So we go 30 seconds on one side, then 30 seconds on the other. Finally, anti-rotation. So 2 ways we can do this. I prefer a band version because I like to give it a little bit of stretch. So you would loop the band around something that's going to hold the band, and then you can step out and just hold for 30 seconds. The other way you can do that if you don't have a band or something to tie it to is just to use any vertical surface that you can put your hand on. So like, any corner, you can do the same thing just by setting up and pushing into that wall, right? So your setup looks just like this, but you're pushing into the wall. You're obviously not going to move it, but that's where we get our anti-rotation from, okay? So we should be okay on equipment with that. And if anybody needs any clarification on anything, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll pick up with the roll. And let's meet at your hips if you haven't gone there yet. Really make sure we're rolling the front of your thighs today. So sometimes that gets skipped because you got to roll over and do it, and it's more work. But let's make sure we roll over and get the front of your thighs if you haven't already. Just giving everything a once over. This roller's dead. All right. If you have a roller, let's sit on top of your roller, and then we're going to bring your feet in. So it would be as if you're doing like a deep squat, but your butt's going to be on the roller. We do want to get as close to the squat as possible. So my butt's on the roller, but you're also getting your heels as close as possible to the roller. So we're just sitting nice and tall here. We should be sitting in like what would look like a perfect deep squat. Sitting nice and tall, making sure your spine is long from your tailbone up to the top of your head. Then we're just going to take your elbows and push your knees apart. Okay, so we get kind of a groin stretch with that. And what I'll usually do is just sort of shift back and forth and settle into the stretch a little bit. If you can sit in a deep squat without the roller, you can go ahead and do that. I think most of us are going to need a little bit of help. But just a real basic squat stretch here. And then we'll go to the floor. So we're using this as our groin stretch today too. So the more you can pry your knees apart, the better off, or the better stretch you'll get. All right, let's go ahead and lay on the floor. You're gonna give one knee a hug. You're gonna pull it across your body too. So we want that stretch out here in the outside of your hip. So we're pulling across, giving it a hug, finding that stretch right around the bottom part of your hip bone there. Let's also try to touch the back of your other knee to the ground. So you're really pushing your leg straight. And switch sides. So pushing one leg straight out, try to touch the back of your knee to the ground. Or bring that other leg up and across. Pulling across your body a little bit. Your shin should be kind of diagonal so that we're getting that stretch on the outside of your hip. And good, let's go both feet up towards the ceiling, pushing those heels as close as you can to the ceiling, pulling your toes back towards your chin. And then we're gonna lower alternating heels. We'll go for about 20 seconds here. So fixing your hips means you shouldn't feel your low back rocking on the ground. You wanna keep everything nice and stable as you move your legs. 10 more seconds. And relax. Let's come over onto your side. We're gonna do a side plank to warm up. You can go from your knees. You can go from your knees with knees stacked or one knee on top. We're just gonna hold for about 20 seconds here. So whatever variation you wanna warm up with, you can straighten your legs as well. We wanna just get everything moving here and get everything woken up so that we can get going. All right, let's switch sides. Just holding nice and strong here. Again, you can stack your knees up or you can let that top leg come off. And good, let's roll over to a push-up position. From this push-up position, you're gonna bring one knee or one leg forward, bring it up flat next to your hands. You can keep your back leg off the ground or you can drop your knee down. I'm actually gonna drop my knee down because I feel like I get a better hip flexor stretch that way. You can also have your roller underneath your hands to keep your spine from rounding down to the floor. All right, let's go ahead and straighten both legs. So you'll push your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep your hands down on the roller or floor. Looking for that big stretch down the back of your leg. And then we're gonna go back down. Let's go hands to the floor. You're gonna turn your chest toward your forward leg. You rotate up, point those fingertips at the ceiling. Your goal here isn't necessarily just to point your fingertips up, but we want to try to stack your shoulders right on top of each other, pushing down through the floor. And good. So let's go back to push-up position. You can stay as active as you want with this, meaning, you know, if you can keep everything up off the floor and stay in that push-up position, it's going to be a much more active stretch. Really driving that leg straight. Make sure your knee is outside your armpit. And let's straighten both legs. Try to keep your chest out as much as you can, back flat. That'll give you a bigger stretch down the back of your front leg. Also, go ahead and let your back heel drop down towards the floor for a calf stretch. And good, let's go hand to the ground. We're gonna rotate up, stacking those shoulders right up on top of each other. And then try to touch your elbow to the ground. And good, last thing, we'll go back to that push-up position. Just walk your hands into your toes, tap, and walk them back out. So just a stationary inchworm. Starting to warm up your shoulders and your core a little bit. And on that last one, go ahead and stand up. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get moving here. So first thing, a two-way lunge. Let's go ahead and grab your weight. Remember, you can hold that weight up under your chin, or you can hold it down by your side. I will probably start off down by my side until I get probably 1 or 2 rounds in. All right, we're gonna get started in 10 seconds. So have your weight ready. Pick which foot you're gonna step with, and I'll call the halfway point. Getting started in 5, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Glue one foot to the ground, then we're stepping forward and out to the side. Remember, if you're holding the weight down low, you're gonna hold it on the side that's glued to the floor. If there's any knee pain with a forward lunge here, you can always change it to a reverse lunge. Tends to help out. And let's switch sides. Five seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20. Side plank is next. We'll be down on the floor. All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Remember, in the side plank, we want to try to stack your shoulders right on top of each other. That top leg is going to be placed in front. So we should be heel to toe with your top leg in front. 10 seconds left on this side. 2, 1, switch sides. Of course, you can always just roll right over to the other side. But I had to switch my feet around so I could still face the camera. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, stand on the floor for the floor press next. Remember, we want that rotation. Palm will face your midline on the way as you get to the bottom. As you get to the top, your palm should face forward toward your toes. All right, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. You can go knees bent, or both knees bent, or just one. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and change it up. The speed that you're going with here is going to kind of depend on the weight that you have. So if you have a heavier weight, you'll be going a little bit slower. But a way to kind of bump it up if you have a lighter weight is to just do these quickly. Sort of all depends on what you got. Three seconds, 2, 1, and rest. SLDL is next. And here we go. 30 seconds each side. Trying to keep that chest away from the floor as you tilt down. I'd rather see less range of motion and better hip hinging, better hip motion, rather than getting the weight low and substituting curling your spine over. Switching in 3 seconds, 2, 1, switch sides. Ten seconds left. 2, 1, and rest. Anti-rotation is next. The other trick here is finding a time to breathe, or finding a way to breathe while you're still strong through your core. Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Again, if you don't have a band, just put your arms out straight, and then think about using your body, using your core to push into the wall, rotate into the wall, and imagine pushing that wall over, keeping everything square. Three seconds, 2, 1, and let's go to the other side. Just find the opposite surface, put the back of your hand on. Nice wide stance. Again, this shouldn't feel like a shoulder exercise. This should feel like your core is doing the work. So if you're having trouble getting there, pull your shoulder blades back and down. And relax. Good, 20 seconds. We're back up to the top. So that was round 1. Got 3 to go. Getting back up to the lunges. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Five seconds. And we switch. Three seconds, 2, 1, and rest. Down for a side plank. All right, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. You can go from your elbow or from a straight arm, your choice. the straight arm gives you a little more shoulder stability, shoulder action, but it also makes the side plank a little bit easier. Remember that top foot is going to be set in front. 5 seconds. And roll it over. Stacking those shoulders right up on top of each other. Let your top one roll down towards the ground. Bring your hips forward in line between your shoulders and your heels. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Staying on the floor for a floor press. All right, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Try to get that rotation down. Let your hand rotate to face their midline at the bottom. And then your palm faces down or forward at the top. Four seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Ten seconds left. And rest. The SLDL is next. And here we go. We're kind of getting into the thick of this workout now. It's like long, slow sets. So we got to stick with it for a while. Switch sides. Ten seconds left. Keeping that belly button facing the ground. And rest. Always double check, make sure your hips are square and parallel to the ground. So if you had a big belt buckle, your belt buckle would be parallel with the ground when you tilt over. Anti-rotation is next. Remember, you can use that band and hold a band out or press into the wall. And here we go. Taking that nice wide stance. Check in, make sure you're not turned into the wall. You should be square. Standing right in front of the corner or whatever you're pressing on. And switch sides. Good athletic position, hips back a little bit, knees bent. You might feel this a little bit in your hips or glutes too. That's part of your core, so that works. We also want you to feel it across the front. All right, relax. Okay, we're halfway done. Back up to the top for the two-way lunge. All right, 5 seconds. Try to start with the side that you haven't started with, unless you've been paying attention to it. Here we go. Five seconds. And switch sides. Three, two, one, rest. Side plank is next. All right, in 3 seconds, 2, 1, here we go. So some of the parts of this workout are meant to make you stabilize while your breath is up, while you're winded. So this is one of those times where you got to find a way to breathe and be strong at the same time. Switch sides. Ten seconds left. 2, 1, and rest. Did I? I'm sorry. Maybe I screwed up. Well, if you did floor press, do a side plank. And if you did side plank, do floor press. All right, here we go. I'll have to check the actual order. I think that's right. What I did was right. What I said was wrong. Three seconds, 2, 1, and switch sides. Ten seconds left. And rest. Okay, SLDL is next. 10 seconds. Okay, this floor press first. No. Side plank first. Oh, no, I'm screwed. All right, SLDL, here we go. I'm sure this time. And switch sides. Nice, easy switch. Just flip hands. Switch to the other leg. Make sure the leg that you're standing on is bent. Okay, we should have some knee bend there. The more knee bend you have, the more you're going to feel it up in your hip instead of down the back of your leg. And vice versa. If you've got your legs straightened out, you're gonna feel a lot of tension down the back of your leg. And rest. Anti-rotation is next for round 3. If you can remember what side you started with last time, try to start with the other side this time. Ready? And here we go. Remember, shoulders should be level. We shouldn't be leaning into the wall, just rotating. Five seconds. Switch sides. Remember to pull those shoulder blades down and back. Chin should be back, almost making a double chin. Ten seconds. Three, two, one, relax. Last round. All right, getting started in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Last round here, let's get nice and deep into those lateral lunges. Really reaching, trying to get 90 degrees at the back of your knee. Ten seconds left. And switch. Ten seconds. Three, two, one, rest. Side plank is next. Yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Last one here, let's make it really solid. Last side plank that is. Thinking about that perfect posture, just on its side. Shoulder blades are back. Let's roll over in 2, 1, switch it up. Ten seconds left. Hold it nice and strong. Don't let your shoulder roll forward. Keep it back. 2, 1, and rest. Floor press is next. All right, in 2, 1, here we go. Trying to go for that rotation. Means your elbow is going to be probably pretty close to your side here. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, SLDL is next. Make sure that's all hip motion, not low back motion. So you shouldn't be feeling fatigue in your low back. And here we go. If you do get that fatigue in your low back, shorten up the range of motion so that you're going maybe till the weight gets to your knee or till your hand gets to your knee. Just making sure that your hip is doing the moving, not your low back. Five seconds on this side. Switch it up. Making sure that back toe is facing down towards the floor in the back. Should almost feel like you're standing on the outside edge of your foot with a nice big arch and your big toe pressing down into the ground. 2 seconds. 1, rest. Weights are down for the day, just the anti-rotation to finish up. Push hard here. Nobody's going to be able to tell how hard you're pushing except you. That's it, Rim. All right, and here we go. Last minute of work. Pressing hard, trying to push that wall over. Not responsible for any damages to your home. 10 seconds left. Switch sides. Last 30 seconds. If you're using a band here, might be time to step out a quarter step, shuffle away from that wall, put a little more stretch on the band, and hold strong. 15 seconds. Shoulder blades are back. Make sure it doesn't turn into arm effort. It should be core effort turning into the wall. And done for the day. All right, so we'll keep that core strength, we'll keep that good posture up above your waistband. Hang on, don't leave yet. Start taking your breaths here, recovery breaths, and make sure I got everybody down. Okay. Got everybody. Okay. So standing tall, taking those breaths. So that same kind of core posture, nice tall, think of it as a cylinder. So we want that to be like a nice strong can, right? So again, no dents in the can. Nice and tall from here to here. Nice and strong as you take your breaths. Take your breath way down deep into the canister. See, Carol, I know you got to run. So standing tall, if it helps you to have hands on your hips, you can do that. If it helps you to have hands by your side. Shoulders are back. Think of your very best posture without sticking your butt out the back or letting your ribs rise up and puff your chest out in the front. So most of the time, we're going to be pulling down on the ribs, tucking your tailbone down. Really try to extend up, push your heels into the floor, push the top of your head up to the ceiling. And then controlling your breath. Heart rate shouldn't be too high here. And that's a wrap. Right. Thanks for joining me this morning, guys. Awesome group. You guys did great. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. If not, have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.